I bet you did not know that Ryobi made hearing protection. The question is, do they work? And if they work, do they work well? The other question you have is, how do you even use these things? That's what we're going to look at. Ryobi makes everything under the sun, including hearing protection. Now, I've seen these at the store. They only ran me about $9, and I wanted to pick them up and do a review on them. Now, these do meet OSHA applicable standards. They're not approved by OSHA, but they have a noise reduction of 30 dB. What does that mean? Now, in the United States anyway, we deal with a federal agency called OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration. They govern workplace safety law, regulations. And without going into too many boring details, all you have to know is that 85 dB per 8-hour day, your employer has to start thinking about a hearing conservation program. At 90 dB, it is mandatory. Because at that level, you can start suffering from permanent hearing loss. And not only that, who wants to deal with tinnitus? You know, that constant ringing or swooshing sound that you'll hear for the rest of your life. Now, real quick, let me just go over a dB chart. A pin drop comes in around 20 dB. A normal conversation or a clothes dryer, you're looking at 60 dB. A vacuum cleaner, we're at that level around 85 dB. And a lawnmower pushes us up to the 90 dB level. So this is where you really need to start watching for hearing damage. Now, a jackhammer and a car horn, you're looking at about 120 dB, but the 140 dB, well, we're already past that pain threshold at 130 dB. So think about a shotgun blast going off next to your ear. Now, back to the noise reduction rating. Whether it's Ryobi or any other brand, just because it says 30 does not mean it's going to knock off 30 decibels. And here is how that works. Because the decibel rating is 30 on the Ryobi, what we will do is subtract the 30 by the 7, which gives us 23, and then divide that by 2, which gives us 11.5. This tells us if we were wearing the Ryobi hearing protection in an area that's measured at 90 dB, we are now looking at 78.5 dB. And that, my friends, puts you well under the 90 dB. Great, now that we know how hearing protection works, will the Ryobi work? Well, even if it doesn't do all the fancy things that I'm going to show you here in a bit, it will still work. You put them in your ear and it will still take off that 11.5 dB, which will protect your hearing. The earbuds themselves are a little bit larger, but you can squeeze down on them a little bit just like you would put in your normal hearing protection. You can roll them up a little bit, put them in, and they will expand. You have one for the left ear, you have one for the right ear, and even though they are a little bit bigger, they do feel pretty comfortable in your ear. Now, the reason I was attracted to these is because they work a little bit different than any others that I've used before. Considering I'm a safety guy, well, that's pretty cool. All you have to do is plug them into your smartphone. Then you will need to go and download your Ryobi PhoneWorks app. And this, my friends, is where we ran into a little bit of trouble because Ryobi apps never work good. As you can see here, right off the bat, we got a unable to connect message. Now, after a few more attempts, I was finally able to connect the headset to the phone, which is a little bit irritating considering that if I want to use my hearing protection, I don't really want to mess around with my phone app for a half an hour. Once you do that, you just click on the earphones and there you are. But once again, another problem, it wasn't working. This is the part that I started getting aggravated. Now, I like Ryobi tools, and even though they're DIY homeowner tools, you know, they got some really cool stuff, and I never usually have any issues with it, but the phone app was just no good. Now, after fiddling around for about 30 minutes, I was able to connect again. All you got to do is hit the phone earbud application, and you can see that once we upload it, well, our decibels start to read. Here is another issue though. On the bottom here, on the Ryobi area, it says 46, and up on the top, the earphone area, it also reads the same number. You can see it jumping a lot. This was not doing it earlier, but for some reason, it's spazzing out on me. And not only that, when you set your adjustments, which I'll show you here in a bit, the Ryobi on the bottom, the decibel level should be reading lower than the actual decibel level that is picking up from the outside. That was not the case on the second, third, fourth, and fifth attempt of using these earphones. Now you can see down here I am using the different buttons. I got the high, medium, and low, and what that should be able to do is when it's picking up the dB level, it suppresses that noise and allows you to pick up talking and so on. It's almost like a faint echo in the background. You should be able to adjust that, but the problem is when I went to low or medium, I was not able to hear any talking at all. Even when I manually adjusted this area, I could not get anything to pick up speaking or talking wise like I should have been able to. It also did not adjust the noise level at all. Now you can turn this on and off if you wanted to, but I want to be able to hear people talking in the background. If that's the case, I should just use a regular pair of earbuds. Now the other thing that you can do with this is record your surroundings. Why? I don't know. The other thing that drives me nuts about these is as soon as your phone shuts off, or if you hit the button on the side so your screen is not showing all the time, it will cut out the earbuds. So you have to keep your phone screen on the entire time you're using them. I also could not get used to having this cord plugged into my phone the entire time I was working. It got in the way, it was hanging, it was dangling, it was doing whatever you needed it not to do. Now this is one of the few products from Ryobi I really do not care for. One of the reasons why I love Ryobi is because they sort of think outside the box and they have the tools that nobody else has. This right here is one of those ones that I don't need or want. And once again, a great product that could have been really cool is ruined by the horrible Ryobi app. And even though they will suppress the noise whether they're plugged into the phone or not, I'm going to tell you, I have to pass. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Have you used these? Do you plan on trying to use these? And if you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification. Come say hi to us on the Instagram page at Tool Review Zone. We really miss you over there. And as always, we'll be back with more videos soon.